Everyone loves killing right. I mean, I know I sure do. Men, women, children, elderly, animals, you name it, I exterminate it. Oh, and one more group, of course, those filthy demons. Now I can already hear you asking, demons actually exist? Well, yeah, not really, but I'm killing them anyway. In a video game, of course. And boom, title drop. Devil May Cry 5 is one kick-ass game, and god damn, it could be funny too. This is my first exposure to the series, and I can say for certain I was missing out so much by not playing this game sooner. But enough yapping, let's get to the good stuff. Small disclaimer before continuing, I'm going to try and spoil as little of the story as possible for those who haven't played yet, and you'll definitely want to play after watching the video. First thing I'm going to cover is the combat, since that's the majority of the gameplay, and DMC5 splits combat styles between three very sexy men. Nero, V, and Dante are all the guys you play as, with each having respective movesets. The game also lets you upgrade each character to unlock and power up new moves. The red orbs are what you use to do this, which you find almost everywhere, but sometimes I swear there just aren't enough of them. Let's go ahead and move on to each character and see how they tick though. Nero's a resident pretty boy and has three parts to his kit, that being his sword, gun, and devil triggers. And the sword is, pretty stock standard with the upgrades letting you better string together combos with it. Gun, in my opinion, is only really good if you charge it up, with my reasons kind of being 1, you do more damage, and 2, the shot stuns a bit, which gives you time to close distance and, string combos a little better. Devil Breakers are where things get interesting, with you getting a dozen or so of the things, each of the unique attributes. All of them let you pull enemies in, but each has its own attack, like the Buster Arm, for example, charging up for a big hit, and the Punchline attacking independently of you. The failed My Chemical Romance reject V is next, and fights differently compared to Nero and Dante, with instead of him fighting directly, he uses minions to attack for him, which you control, and what makes it interesting is the fact that instead of just, letting the minions do all the work without input, you're solely responsible for them. And instead of killing enemies outright with the minions, you have to be the one to deliver the finishing blow. And I liked this gameplay loop at first because it was interesting, but, the more I played with them, the less I started to enjoy it. Not to say it was bad, but the two others were, actually able to string combos and follow up on them, whereas V's, minions, were kind of dog shit to handle at points, since you had just to wait for them to get close to, actually do any damage. And last but not least for the playable character is the Big Daddy Dilf himself, Dante. Dante was by far my favorite of the three to play as he just had so much more to work with. You get a ton of different weapons with unique movesets, all of which you can combo into one another. And I like Dante the most because you're able to string combos with multiple weapons and fairly easily close distance on enemies, basically creating no downtime in combat. And just know that he plays similar to Nero, kinda, with him having the close range melee option and the long range gun option. Dante has his devil trigger as well, which turns him into a devil, giving big stat boosts. You've also got his different styles, with Trickster and Royal Guard being my favorite of the four options. Trickster lets you move around super quickly, and Royal Guard lets you block and parry attacks if you time it well, and god damn, does parrying feel good. Now that's that with the movesets and combat, let's move on to the characters themselves to see how they tick. At that point in the video where we ask you to subscribe, do all that stuff, but really more than subscribing, which I would appreciate, I think the most important thing for me right now is just sharing the video around so I can get more watch hours, more views, because yeah, dude, subscriptions are awesome, but if I can get more people watching, that's infinitely better. But let's get back to video, and thanks. Now, I know that the women in this game are something else, but you gotta leave the best for last. And so I'm not exactly covering story beats for the characters, more instead how I thought they were across the game. Starting with Nero, he was pretty good, though he felt kind of like a half-baked Dante at points, where he tried, shit-talking a bit. I definitely liked him better outside of those interactions, and instead more when he was able to, be with other people. Out of all the characters, we got to see him grow the most, with him playing a huge part in the climax of the game. V was interesting because this character was, mysterious in a way where even though everyone knew him, he was still a different person. And the cutscenes with him were all pretty good too, because we slowly got to figure out more and more of his character as time went on. I also liked that the bird was with him. Very funny guy. I loved it so much. Dante was the best of these three by far, constantly exuding an aura of charm, so much so that I might have started becoming a little gay for him. And some of the best scenes in the game are those with Dante and them too, just because he's such a good character. And one of my favorite scenes in an absolute classic is where he gets the hat and starts dancing like fucking Michael Jackson. Funniest shit I've ever seen. Dante, what the fuck are you doing? Virgil, I can feel his power coursing through me.
I just don't understand what's going on.
Now I could talk about Virgil, but I'm honestly not entirely sure what to say about him. Did I like his character when he was on screen? Yeah, I did, but because there's, so little time actually spent with him, it's kind of hard to really pin down any specifics on his character other than he's power hungry and, kind of a dick. Now it's time for the moment you've been waiting for. Nico's the best female character and maybe even the best character in this game. Lady and Trish are both extremely fucking hot, but goddamn, she's on top. And I know I said Dante was exuding charm, but he has absolutely nothing on this fine specimen of a woman. And any scene with Nico in it was automatically like 50% better because she's just such a fun character. Like some of my favorite scenes are when Nico literally crashes into whatever area you're in out of nowhere in her van just so you can upgrade your character. Plus, she's also a southern tomboy, so what is there not to like about her? All around, though, I thought the game was, super fun, very enjoyable. My whole playthrough is just on the basic human difficulty, so if you played on the harder or easier difficulty levels, then our experiences, probably differ a bit. But the gameplay itself was, really rewarding, with Capcom showing that they do not fuck around when it comes to hack and slash type games. But the story overall was, pretty basic in my opinion, but I didn't really care, as the game was still able to inject humor to these points. None of the jokes felt forced in the game either. Like, everything felt pretty natural, as if the characters, were actual people having a real conversation, and not just a bunch of voice actors in the booths recording lines. And if you like hack and slash games, games with a sense of humor, or just games in general, I would absolutely recommend you pick up this game and experience it for yourself, as it's a great time. But with that, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night, and I hope to see you again real soon. Alright, it's been a minute since I've done one of these, but thank you for coming, and I'd like to say a couple things. One is video uploads are going to be slowing down a little bit because work's been kicking my ass. Yes, I know I am working, but I kind of don't like the quality I'm putting out with the videos also. Like once a week, I'm kind of rushing myself to make them, put them out just because, more consistency and having more uploads. But I don't like how it's kind of lessened the quality of the stuff. But also, I'm tired as fuck from work, and I'm also streaming a bit more now, so if you like any of this, try and catch me live on YouTube and Twitch as well if you prefer that platform. But thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will see you again very soon.